P-O-P-P-Y, I'm Poppy. P-O-P-P-Y, I'm Poppy. P-O-P-P-Y, I'm Poppy. P-O-P-P-Y. Barely 6 feet deep, coming in concrete. To me, it's straight. That's me.
Hello Rubies, welcome back to another video, and this is going to be a long one, I think. Yeah, we got a whole 5-part script here, so we got a lot to get through. So, as you saw from the intro, we're talking about Miss Poppy today. And you see the title and the thumbnail, so you already know what subject we're talking about with Poppy today. We're talking about sexuality and gender here, because it needs to be talked about. Like, it's getting more talked about in the newer generation of Gen Z, obviously, because we're more progressive than past generations. Yeah, let's get into it, because I have like half an hour. I have like, not half an hour. I have like less than an hour to record, so let's get into it. Moriah Rose Pereira, known widely as Poppy or her other aliases, Moriah Poppy, That Poppy, and Poppy Chan, is a singer, songwriter, and internet personality. She grew to prominence on YouTube with her odd and unconventional videos that did very well in the algorithm. Later on, she branched out into music with her debut EP, Bubblebath, that consists of 4 songs highlighting the title track, Low Life, which currently has over 69 million views on YouTube, being her most viewed music video to date. And actually her most viewed video ever, actually. Oddly enough, her next release would be a 10-track instrumental album. Yo, this is funny, okay? I don't know. And it was titled 336 Music to Sleep To, which features some of the weirdest song titles in her discography. They're titles such as Glass Milk, Air People, Doctor Bite, and Catholic Camera. Anyway, moving on. October 6, 2017 saw the release of Poppy's debut studio album, Poppy.Computer, which featured a pre-release single, I'm Poppy, which you heard in the intro. Now, I need to speed run this. We need to speed this shit up, okay? We need to speed this video up, because this isn't about like her whole discography. It's about a select few songs, 6 to be exact. So let's speed run the next 3 paragraphs of this whole script. Before the release of her second studio album, Poppy released her first cover, Metal, originally by Gary Newman. Foreshadowing with the title, I see. If you know, you know. On Halloween of 2018, Am I a Girl was released featuring guest appearances from Diplo, Fernando Garibay, and of course, Grimes. This album foreshadowed a major shift in Poppy's discography going forward. She also released what seems to be a leftover from Am I a Girl titled Immature Couture, which sounds pretty good to me. June 28 of 2019, Poppy released her second EP, Choke, which had a guest appearance from Fever 333 on Scary Mask. We love Scary Mask in this household. Also, a voicemail scared the literal crap out of me, because this one part that actually went viral, and I was kind of scared when I heard it, because I was like, oh god, no.
Running, I'm running, I'm running. Running, I'm running, I'm running. Running, I'm running, I'm running. Running, I'm running, I'm running.
Also, she released her second instrumental album, ICU, Music to Read To, which could be considered part of the Music to Insert To trilogy, which will be continued later on. January 10th of 2020, everything literally changed. We already saw Poppy flirting with Metal on Am I a Girl, and we saw her embrace it a bit more on Choke, but now she's gone headfirst into this shit. Also, she parted ways with Titanic Sinclair before the album dropped, so that's amazing. And I'm not being sarcastic, like, I hate this man. Like, yo, I'm breaking script right now. I actually hate this man. Like, look him up right now. Like, well, after this video, look him up after the video. This album spawned 3 singles, Concrete, the title track, I Disagree, and the Grammy-nominated Blood Money, which is very amazing. Like, oh my god. Is this her best song? I don't know. Poppy released her well-known cover of All the Things She Said by Tattoo in early June of 2020. August of 2020 saw the release of back-to-back Poppy albums with the self-produced soundtrack to her graphic novel Inferno, which is the supposed final installment to the Music to Insert To trilogy, which the album is called A Music to Scream To, if you're wondering. And a day later, she dropped a deluxe edition of I Disagree More, which featured 4 new tracks. My personal favorite from these is If It Bleeds, It Hits, It Really Does Hit. It's just pure chaos with a K. Moving on. A Very Poppy Christmas was released at the beginning of December. Her first song of 2021 was the single Fear of Dying, which was released at the tail end of May. Eat, which is an EP created for the NXT soundtrack, was released on June 8th of 2021. 28 days later, almost a month later, freaking February month, a new album cycle begins with the single Her. She followed that up with the title track Flux and also So Mean. On September 24th of 2021, Poppy's 4th album Flux was released. Her most recent release being the EP Stagger, which was released on October 14th of 2022. She seems to like to release albums and songs in October, which makes sense with her whole brand. Just want to point that out there. So that was a lot to go through. Like, a lot. Like, this isn't even the meat and potatoes of the whole goddamn video. I've been talking for too long already. So yeah, let's get into the whole main plot of this video. So if you look at the title of the video, like I mentioned earlier in the intro, today we're talking about Poppy in the topic of sexuality and gender, specifically in her music, okay? Very specific. Now, if you know about Poppy, or at least know like one song by her, which is her most popular song we're going to talk about later, but it didn't start with just Am I a Girl? It did not start with that album in particular. It started like in her debut EP, Bubblebath, on the last track of the EP, American Kids, which in the second verse, she says, I'm going to read the whole goddamn verse, y'all. I can't, y'all need context. Last time I told my mom that I love you was the last time I ate food from a drive-thru. It never happened like they say. I think my father may be gay, but I don't know, so I burned all my shit in the bonfire. All my teen regrets were a tripwire. I should be everything you hate. I should be higher now than space, but now I'm static. Now, before I analyze that verse in particular, let's go over what the song is about. Genius.com states about American Kids, Poppy's satirical look into the blend of millennials movement that's been happening lately. This was in like 2016, y'all, okay? Poppy's other songs have been fun, bubblegum pop songs, but this song takes a more sincere tone and seems to really try to make a statement about the millennial generation that Poppy's actually a part of, by the way, if you didn't know. She was born in 1995. Now, if we take that into consideration, I think we can figure out what that I think my father may be gay line is talking about. Is this somewhat an issue now as much as it was back in like 2016? Families not being open with each other. This line in particular is Poppy saying that her father might be gay, which is know that obviously. And y'all probably like, Lee, we can fucking see that you didn't need to say it again. Like, I know y'all. Like, I know, okay? What I'm trying to say is that her supposed father is closeted, which, raise your hand if you can't come out to your family because they're homophobic. But there's a lot of hands raised right now because, oh my god. Basically, what I'm getting from this mention is Poppy is trying to bring awareness to this issue with a specific line. The fear of your family falling apart just because it's something you can't control. So, funny story. I was writing this next section here in the script, and I was listening to my Poppy playlist as I was writing it, and Software Upgrade came on. And I kid you not, I actually stopped for a few seconds after I heard this line.
So come on, baby, tell me, are you gay?
Okay, so let's talk about Software Upgrade. This is the only song on Poppy.Computer that mentions anything fruitful. This song seems to be a part 2 to another song on the album, Computer Boy, Poppy likes Computer Boy and cares about him, but he doesn't seem to care about her anymore. That's what I'm getting from this song here. So now she's questioning him, and that's how that "Are you gay" line came out. After 6 years, has this line aged well? I can't tell. I can't tell. I feel like I should mention this because it's, well, obvious when we talk about this video. So, tell me your opinions down below. Like, we're gonna take this into consideration later on, but, like, yeah, let's move on to Am I a Girl, the album. Now, Am I a Girl inspired this whole video. So, you best believe I'm gonna go head first into this shit. Like, I'm gonna go head first, just like she did with the metal stuff. Like, so there's only like 3 songs on this album that warrant a discussion about sexuality and gender, and that is the title track "Am I a Girl," "Girls in Bikinis," and the bonus track "Immature Couture." Let's start with "Girls in Bikinis" because that's like the one that everyone knows, and I like referenced it earlier. So if you didn't get it, now you get it. So with this song, I could not tell at first that Poppy was criticizing how people, majority men, sexualize women in this song, Bikinis, okay? This changes everything, literally. Like, it does. In the chorus, she highlights how women are sexualized in bikinis in sci-fi films and in auto races. You know, the flag girls? I didn't even clock that until I was reading, like, information about it. I was like, oh, that's what they're called? In the verses, she mentions different types of clothing that women wear, such as thongs and crop tops, that are often sexualized. The bridge is where gender expression is particularly highlighted. Genius once again explained this perfectly, in my opinion. By saying that she wants to see boys in bikinis, she's subverting the double standard that revealing clothing is acceptable for women and unacceptable for men. She invites men to join the fun of wearing wearing sexy and feminine clothing. It's fashion after all. That last line is reference to the second song on the album, of course, titled Fashion After All. Y'all, I can't speak. I actually can't. I'm breaking script right now. I can't. I left my voice earlier from laughing too hard. I cried like 4 times, okay? I can't get into it right now. But yeah, back on script. Now, a lot of people, just like me, interpreted this song at first as a bi anthem, which I can safely say that this song has a double meaning. Like, I feel like everybody can universally agree on that. Like, if you read the meaning and everything, you're like, oh, definitely a double meaning. Like, you can't just make a song like "Girls in Bikinis" and not have a double meaning. Like, you can't just do that. So let's move on to the title track. The meaning behind "Am I a Girl" is so obvious. Like, if you can't figure it out, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I really don't know what to tell y'all. Like, I don't know. Throughout the song, she questions her gender identity and also compares the common roles of man and woman in society. The last 2 lines in the second verse really stick out to me, personally.
When I said take me home, that wasn't what I meant.
Implying sexual things. If you know, you know. The chorus hints at her possibly being under the non-binary umbrella, saying,
Am I a girl? Am I a boy? What to say to me? I'm somewhere in between.
Going back to the second verse, Poppy basically comes after people who make claims against people who identify outside of gender binary or are questioning their gender identity. Poppy really likes coming for niggas. We stan. I think I've covered most of what the song is about. If you have any more details to add about Am I a Girl, leave them in the comment section for engagement. So let's move on to the bonus track, Immature Couture. Now, this is actually another song where I wasn't even planning. Like, I wasn't even planning this video out. Like, I actually moved on. But I still had Poppy playlist playing. And then Immature came on. Like, Immature Couture came on. I was literally watching, like, the Eagles playing. I kid you not. Like, I was actually doing this. Like, I was like, an Immature Couture came on. I was like, oh my god, no. I was like, no way. So, Immature Couture, like I mentioned, is a bonus track. It isn't on the Am I a Girl album, actually. It's a standalone single that Poppy released as a thank you to her fans after the delay of her tour for the album. But I included in this cluster here because it's the same cover as Am I a Girl. That's why I thought it was like a bonus track. But then I learned about it, I was like, oh, it's a standalone single, so it's a bonus. Like a thank you to the fans. To the poppers. What were we called again? What are Poppy fans called? I want to know. So, let's get into this right now. This song is about empowering yourself, and the sole reason why it's included in this video is because of this one line in the middle of the chorus.
Your parents think you're gay and you're doing it right.
I think this line is so funny. What Poppy is saying here is if you're dressing very extravagant, colorful maybe, your parents might think you're a fruit bowl. Okay, moving on to the last song. As said in the first part of this video, all the things she said is originally by Russian duo Tattoo. This song is about a lesbian relationship. It is about a girl dealing with her sexual orientation. Now, Poppy making a cover of this says something. Like, it says something. I'm not going to assume anything about her sexuality. Like, I'm going to say this again later. Like, just because she covered this song does not say anything about, like, her... Well, it does say something about, like, not about, like, her sexuality in general. Like, that... Does that make any sense? But she did make a good decision covering this song, though. She made a very good decision because it fits perfectly in her discography with the subject matter and also musical direction, because she changed up to make, like, a rock-type instrumental, which sounds really good. There's just one part in there that I really like. This is going off script right now. Like, it's... I'll put it in the video, okay? I can't explain it. So in the final process of making this video, I decided to watch the very few Poppy interviews that are available, and let's just say, I found some things. In the half an hour Zach Sang interview that she did in August of 2017 promoting her album Poppy.Computer, at 2 minutes and 59 seconds, almost at the 3-minute mark, Zach asked her,
"Do you still think Donald Trump is gay?"
And she responds,
I think everyone's gay.
After that, Zach asked her,
What led you to that conclusion?
And she responds,
I feel like gay is a spectrum.
I mean, she's right. Hell, I'm on the gay spectrum. I'm a pan in the cabinet. After that, Zach asks for further explanation and throws out a few ideas that Poppy agrees with.
So you could be little gay, kind of gay, medium gay. There's levels to it. Okay.
Then right after, Zach asks her, and oh my god, I died. I actually died after this one.
What are you?
Poppy.
But is Poppy a little gay?
Everyone's gay.
Is Poppy a girl?
I'm Poppy.
You look like a girl, so maybe I would say yes, but then again, I don't know.
I feel like a girl.
Right after this, the conversation of gender goes further, and Zach asks Poppy.
You believe that gender is going to eventually go away, right?
And Poppy responds,
It has already.
Y'all, I'm convinced she's a time traveler from the year 2077. Like, because what the hell? Like, after this, she says,
There's no such thing as gender.
I mean...
Only computers.
Now, she made a very good point here, actually. Gender is a social construct that was created literal centuries ago. Wow, that's funny. Centuries ago, and still exists to this day, obviously. Like, yeah. The thing that kind of ruins her point here is her adding on that only computers exist, implying we're all computers, which fuels my it fuels my theory that she is from the year 2077. And we're all just too dumb for her. After one of the people on Zach's team, Dan, points out that she contradicted one of the things that she said earlier about her being human, having feelings. She responds to this by saying,
They've been feeling for a long time. They're just like us.
I know this technically doesn't relate to the topic at hand, but I don't care at this point. Like, I'm convinced she's a time traveler from the year 2077. You can't change my mind. Also, here's one more funny clip. Because, oh my god. This is the most fun I've ever had making a video ever.
What do you think about Jake Paul?
I don't know who that is.
With all that I've covered so far, you're probably wondering, how does Poppy identify herself? Poppy has stated herself that she does identify as a woman. The creation of the Am I a Girl album came from her questioning her gender identity in 2018, which she publicly spoke about in an interview with Nylon, NME, and of course the Zach Sang show. So I think we've come to a conclusion here. Poppy, like a lot of people, was at a point in her life where she wasn't so sure about her identity. Raise your hand if you struggle with that. This isn't the first time we've seen a celebrity speak out about questioning their gender identity, sexuality, or both. Of course, we have Demi Lovato, Sam Smith, Lady Gaga, Rina Sawayama, basically any celebrity in the LGBTQ plus community. Safe to say Poppy is either an ally or is actually in the community. I don't know if I explained that correctly. Pretty sure she's an ally though, it's really obvious. Poppy's way of discussing sexuality and gender is either comical or direct. Poppy's brand is basically being comical or direct. So it makes sense for her to take that same approach in her music. There are 6 songs in her discography that I know of that have mentions relating to the topic we've been discussing throughout the entire video. Even if it's just one line in a song, it's still something. This subject is part of a wide range of topics that Poppy discusses in her music, and I hope she discusses more about this in the future.
Everyone should love Poppy for many reasons. The main reason is because I like to make beautiful videos, and I like to put them on youtube.com.
So I hope you all enjoyed this video. This is very fun to make, like I mentioned during the interview clip section, because oh my god, watching that interview last night was the funniest thing ever. Oh my god. I've never had so much fun watching a whole interview. What? Oh my god. So tell me your thoughts down below. Leave your input. Add more to what I said in the last 2 sections in specific, because I don't think I served that all justice. My brain does not process anything. I swear to God, I can't come up with anything. This is why I'm failing in school. I'm joking, by the way, just so y'all know. I'm not actually failing. But when it comes to explanations, I'm very bad at that for some reason. Go listen to Poppy's music. She has really good music. If you like pop, listen to Poppy.Computer and Bubblebath and probably parts of Am I a Girl? But after Am I a Girl, that's metal and rock. So if you can't do that, then don't do I Disagree. So yeah, moving on. I'm supposed to say moving on. Now I keep saying it now. Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna finish eating this brownie here. I'm gonna edit and hopefully it's coming out on Saturday. I think it's gonna come out on Saturday from my planning. So yeah, see y'all on Saturday when this video drops. Peace.